Alright, so I painted the white in the wings and the flesh colored skin and made it a little more opaque than the other areas. And this way light will still shine through it, but we want it to not shine all the way through. So that's why I put these on. The next layer we're going to do are these really cool paints called Pebeo. And what they are is they're kind of like a resin type paint. They have different kinds. The Moon Fantasy makes things bubbly and like you would see the ripples of glass. And then they have one called, let's see, the Prism Fantasy. And that looks more hammered out, which is kind of cool. So I'll show you the box. And I had them laid out, so I'll show you that picture here. And they're just a really cool medium. So what you do is you layer them, you can mix them, and they're kind of see-through. They're strong, sturdy. Did this the other day. I just wanted to try them out, so I just took a piece of acrylic and that was left over, and I thought I'd try it. As you can see, when the light shines through it, it kind of looks like stained glass. So you just layer them and see how, I'm not sure if you can see the different textures through it, like a real stained glass. So that is what we're going to use. So this is more like an oil base. It does not wash off with water. You have to use mineral spirits. Or I just wipe it really good when I'm done with it. You want to stir it really good. Very well. Pardon. And then we're just going to put it in certain areas. This one's called Buttercup. So it's like a goldish yellow. And this will just add some shimmer and shine. And it's kind of oily. It's pretty cool. I've always wanted to try these out. So I thought this would be the perfect project for it. Because I do really want this to look like stained glass. And in stained glass they use all different kinds of glass. They use the opaque, the really soft, can't see through, like the wings here, for clouds and things like that. Waters, or see through. So this is just another layer that makes it look realistic. See how this is not disturbing the ink at all. So I've been doing this over the last couple days. This would take up to 72 hours for this paint to dry. I mean, it'll dry by morning. But to lean it against, to touch it, to frame it, you want to give it a 72 hours. Okay, this stuff's pretty cool too, because the more you layer it, there's also a ceramic paint of this. It's called ceramic, which means it is solid, more solid, opaque. And then there's, what's the other one called? Which it's more like a stain, like completely see-through. This has more of a shimmer to it. All the fantasy ones do. They have glitter you can add to it. Vitel is the clear one. So, see how that's looking through there? So I'm going to go ahead and do this with the blues and some shimmer in the clouds. Okay, here I'm going to add gold onto the horn. And the thicker you get it, the more texture will be in it. So first I'll put a thin coat. Get all that off my brush. To a thicker coat. See, you can already see the texture in there. It's like a little bubbly. See the texture in that? Where it looks a little bit hammered or more like metal. Okay. Vitrail is the other one. And this is just a like a stain. It's clear, but tinted with color. So we add this on there. This is yellow. So we'll put this on there and it'll mix with the buttercup. And then after this layer, we are going to go with the acrylic paint with the floating medium, just to put kind of like a frosted back to it with yellow. So lots of layers, but also gives you lots of depth to make it look like real glass. And again, this is not, bothering the alcohol ink below, which is nice. Because if you think about it, the alcohol ink is dissolved with alcohol. This medium is dissolved with mineral spirits or acetone or something like that, which be careful with acetone because it can fog up the plexiglass. And then the acrylic is just a water-based. So they all work together. Different layers. Just want to make sure you dry them in between. Dry time is a little longer for this medium. The Pebeo, I was calling it Pebeo, but it's Pebeo. This one's a little longer dry time. Alcohol ink is pretty much instantaneous. acrylic dries super duper fast. And then there's this. It probably takes probably 4 or 5 hours to be completely dry, not tacky. I'd give it 8. So that way you don't feel that tackiness to it and get fingerprints on it. Okay. Then you can come back with some of the buttercup if you wanted to add in certain areas. On this also, I try to keep all the brush strokes going one direction. In stained glass, you want to kind of lay them all out in one direction. All the waves of the glass would go kind of in one direction. At least that's how I would do it. I've done it. What I didn't have the patience for real stained glass. It takes too long, too much time, very tedious. You need lots of patience, which I don't have. I like a quick fix. So mine was fused glass. I love fused glass. Okay, I've gone ahead and put on all the yellow and layered it. Now, and then I also went ahead and striped, just did quick patterns like this of the light blue. I believe it is called the Prism Fantasy. And then I'm going just striping with the blue. And this is the Vitrail, and it is just the clear blue. So I'm just layering it to making this look like wavy stained glass. Looks like I missed a little bit of the blue, light blue on that part. So I will go in. Okay. On this side. Just making fast brush strokes. Nothing has to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish the blue up on the whole thing, and then we'll be ready for the acrylic on top.